Our next guest, you guys been waiting for him. You guys been waiting for this brother right here. Well, he's in the building. Class of 1991 graduate, a force on and off the field. Very humble. He's not only very humble, not only a awesome force in Y&I, but also a great friend of ours.
One of our brothers. We grew up together. I mean, football is secondary to the love that we have for this guy.
If you guys from Y&I, you guys know the legend in the building right now. Please put your hands together for my man, Peter Matautia is in the house.
How about Peter Matautia? Welcome, bro.
Thank you for making it.
Thank you. Thank you for honoring me. I'm honored to be here with you guys, brother. And following Chris Pogoffi, he was a defensive player of the decade back in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Right. Oh man, all humble right now.
When we get into it, you're gonna find out football was truly second.
We're keeping it going right now. Peter Matautia, question number one comes from my man B Chung. What you got for him?
So, Pete, we get so much history together, but we want the world to know about Peter Matautia and where he came from. So tell us where he was born and raised, and what's your background history in Waianae Coast?
Well, I get asked that question a lot, and I just recently realized, I old. I'm not gonna, I don't like bring you into the old thing, but I'm gonna tell you straight up, I old, so I feel old. And when young kids ask me now, where you from, brother? I tell them, my family. We were first migration from Samoa to Hawaii. First generation of my family on both sides, Salanoa and Matautia. So when I thought about it, I always say I'm from Waianae,
Right.
But really, the truth of it is my mother and father came to Nanakuli in the 1950s. So I start from there. We landed in Nanakuli in the 1950s. I was born in Maile in 1972. I was raised in Waianae, and I was forged in Macau. So if you ask me where I'm from the west side.
Oh, there you go. I like that word, forged. So they just took bare metal and they just built them up.
Exactly.
And this is the guy we got.
I think it was born in metal.
Some crazy brothers from Macau.
This is the thing. You're trying to say that you old and all that because we the same age as you. And then where this forge came from? You never leave nothing left for us guys, man. This guy,
I've been watching that show, Forged.
Yeah.
Forged Distillery,
The knife one, yeah. All right, man. So let's talk about your younger years, school time. Let's go straight to elementary, man. Where you started? I mean, what we at Waianae into Waianae Elementary, Nanakuli.
I started off in Maile Elementary, then I moved over to they built a new school in Lulule called Lehoku, which is where I met you brothers.
Yeah.
Because I think it was in 5th grade they split Waianae Elementary, and the Homestead boys had to come to Lehoku.
Right, Raja.
So we had that's where we all met, all the Valley boys and us Lulule boys, and I mean
So you was living Lulule.
I was Lulule. Yeah.
Okay. So if for those of you who don't know, there's two valleys. There's Waianae Valley and Lulule Valley.
Yeah.
And then when Waianae Valley had the homestead, the homestead kids from Waianae Valley, instead of going to Waianae Elementary, I believe, had to go to Lehoku Elementary.
Yeah, so I went up to Waianae Elementary till 4th grade.
Yeah.
Then 5th and 6th went over. And then,
dang.
you know how the thing when you go to a new school, Oh, who the bull of the school?
Right over there.
Hey, we're looking right there. Every year when I was in school, I was a bull of the school.
No label me. Kekoa Kaluyo Kalani was the bull.
Oh. Well, you was in the boo yet.
In my age bracket.
Peach, you never know you was the boo
I
yet.
wasn't a bull. I just was on wild animals.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was forged in Macau, so I never meet Macau yet. It's coming up soon.
Nice.
Right, so from Makahan to Lualua and then
Maile,
to Maile.
Lehoku, and then in intermediate I met this guy right across from me, Big T's, but back then he was Terrence. Too.
Hey, it's Terrence.
I don't even know. I can't be sure how we met, but I know I used to climb the mountain to go to these guys,
right?
Because he was so funny. We all knew he was destined for, this
Nah,
industry.
man.
You know.
Yeah, so I live at the White Eye Homestead, and then there's a mountain that separate the two
The two
valleys.
valleys.
Right,
Yeah.
And believe it or not, we used to be so good friends that we would hop that mountain. We would climb
we don't
that
catch boss,
mountain.
bro.
We go each other's house.
Kids, kids, we don't catch a boss.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
climb mountains.
Yeah, we caught the boy. We actually, we climbed that mountain, and it's a mountain, by the way. This ain't no hill. This ain't no hill. Like, he would call, like, actually
I
landline
would
and
be
say,
on the top of the mountain, and I'll be like,
yes, exactly.
Dad, you stay home, bro. Folks, you stay home.
You just see Peter
And Auntie would
Matautia.
come up from the other house,
Yeah.
Melissa's mama.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They don't stay over here. They stay at Killer Boy's house. Okay, I know where they stay.
They just go more down the ridge. Yeah?
Down the ridge, yeah.
Kilo. And then Uncle Kilo out there. Get off that mountain, Uncle Kapu. would be
Yeah.
All right. So, when did you start playing football, and for who?
Football. I started in I think it was 7th grade. My friend I used to go watch my friend Khalil Kaliko practice, and he said, "Man, you should try play football, Peter. You'd like it." And I was like, "Nah, I don't know. My mom and them probably wouldn't let me play, so I don't know. I just
At what age was this?
This was 7th grade, I think. Yeah, we were 12, and
So
I went home.
wait. So you never play prior to 7th grade. So you never you never played
no.
any like peewees and
no,
junior peewees or whatever.
Never have junior peewees back then. It was just peewees and
Midgets.
midgets. Yeah, that's it.
I don't think you would have made the weight anyway. So you gotta play
Bro, I was
midgets.
skinny, bro. I was skinny. We all was skinny. You know what I mean? No, but yeah. So, anyways, I went home and asked my dad. I was adopted. I mean, I was fostered and then adopted, but by a good family, the Sextons out in Waianae. My mother, everybody know her as Nanny, and my father,
Right.
Isaac Ike Sexton. They took us in about 1979. We came to them, and they took me and my brothers and sisters in and raised us. And anyways, I went home and asked my pops, "Yeah, I wanted to know if I could play football." And he said, "You sure?" I said, "Yeah." And he took me down, and I think registration back then was only like $65. He's like, "Yeah, play." So I ended up playing with Khalil. Khalil, he brought me in, and he was one of the brothers from the homestead too, and we clicked right away. Cause
This would be Kaleo Keli Iko. Big ups to my
Iko,
man, bro.
brother.
Yeah. I remember when I feel another vicious
he was,
human being.
he was my mentor, because that guy, he knew football at a young age. I never know nothing. I was just having a conversation earlier.
Okay, wait. So 7th grade, on this guy, not for cut you off, you had no idea football, no football positions.
Big.
So this way I'm gonna jump in. When we went into Lehoku, yeah,
Right.
we used to have this game called Smirakuya.
And Soliwa.
And then Solewa. And we used to have to try tackle this guy. When
Okay.
he not the ball now, when he get the slipper.
Okay.
We used to whip the
Smirakuya,
slipper.
yeah, fly him in the air.
Somebody
And for
gotta
some
come grab him.
For some reason, everybody wanted for me to queer. Like, if you think about it, I never thought.
Right.
I never
thought about
I
that.
never thought that this thing was called smear the queer. You know what I mean? Like smear the queer. And how un-PC is that nowadays? If somebody named that nowadays, everybody would be hurt feelings.
Yeah.
Smear the queer. Yeah. And you grabbing the ball. You see what I'm saying? Or the slipper. And
No. Only the quickest and toughest guys will grab the slipper.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like calling him quitter, but
I know. That would be the
Come on,
toughest
bro.
guy.
I hate it when the fast guys grab the freaking.
Oh, yeah.
because
yeah,
they
bro.
can run all day.
Oh,
go out,
like,
you know what I mean?
Shaka Avo,
Yeah.
get out of here,
Yeah.
bro. Look at play.
Outrun them, right? Outrun everybody and just fly them in the air. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Because you cannot catch the guys like that.
The funny moves was like, when you just like run a little while, but you can get smoked.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
You
fly 'em.
you make like you walking by and nobody looking. Grab the slipper real fast.
Oh, yeah.
You think you're good. You get about 15 yards and you get clipped from the side. Bang!
So here's a question. Did you smear that queer?
Me and about 15 guys at once.
Oh, yeah. So that's when you told yourself, man, I think I can play this sport. Or that's what
I
Khalil
love
was saying.
that.
Yeah, oh,
Khalil,
man,
I think he saw something in me, Khalil, and I told him I don't know nothing about football, So I went out my 7th grade year. That was during elementary and 6th grade. when
Because
he was
6th grade,
picking me.
because the summertime,
Yeah.
you still kind of 6th grade. You're not 7th grade yet
Right.
because you got to go
Yeah.
try out, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about your first day of tryouts.
My first day of practice, I was pissed off because they said, O-line.
Wait. Why is that O-line right off the bat? Because he's
Right off
bigger
the
than all the
bat,
kids.
I don't know. I mean, had Teely, Marlo, but I just, in my mind, I don't know nothing about football at
Look
this
at him
point
and then look at the
except
last name.
linebacker. You know what I mean?
Utia, O-line.
Yeah. No, for real though.
You know why?
I think Otto Solis was on the line.
Yeah,
You know
you know
what I
why? You know why? Because that's protection right there. My nephew KJ, you O-line, dog. That's all good, man. We need the tough guys on the O-line, man.
Hey,
That's
if I knew back then O-line get paid more than anybody else, I would have been an O-lineman all the way. You know what I mean?
especially at White Night Tigers, that pay more. No, you guys wreck it out there.
So first year O-line. Tell us about that.
White Night Tigers was really good. I mean, I had this one coach. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was kind of nuts. He used to, back then you coach,
Always had one crazy coach at
Yeah,
Papa
but
Wana.
this guy-
Papa Wana, I call him. Papa
Yeah,
Wana.
exactly.
I was Coach Mike, bro. He was crazy.
Oh,
at
you said
White Night
his name.
Tigers. Oh, that was
Coach
him.
Mike was nuts.
That's what you was talking about?
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Bro.
I remember Coach
Oh,
Mike.
Coach Mike.
Yeah.
You guys remember him?
Bro,
Oh,
don't you
bro.
remember at the stadium when he took us to the football game? You weren't with us?
Yeah. With the guy with Funa them. Oh, bro.
The
He went
guy-
scrap too, huh? No, but him beef, eh?
Yeah.
him beef.
No, the high school guys
Yeah.
behind us, punking us.
Yeah.
And he got on and
Oh,
he
Coach
smashed
was,
their
thumping.
open-handed windshield. They were like, "Sorry, Uncle."
Oh, that's right.
You remember?
Big arms, Coach
Ooh,
Mike. And I'm
Coach
saying the
Mike.
last name, but plenty of Mikes out there, so figure out which one was the one that was going to smash guys for us, especially for Pete. Look at that. You smashed somebody for him.
No, I was in the front, so I felt like I was Coach Mike's friend. You know what I mean? Everybody
Right.
else was in the back. And
Yeah, that's right.
And everybody's like, "Pete, you saw that?" I said, "Bro, I sit in the front."
I'm going to be just like him.
Yeah, I remember Coach Mike. I forgot until you mentioned him.
Yeah.
just now. But the guy that really was on me at that time was real. He was hard. He almost made me quit football because he actually he assault me. I got upset with that. I remember walking off the field and walking towards my pops and he's sitting on the back of somebody's truck and my pops was like, "What's going on?" I said, "I quit. I don't like playing." My pops was like, "Banga, get your
Get your ass back over there.
back over there right
real,
now."
dog. This is your
He's like,
podcast.
"You got this, coach." I was like, "Well, okay, well, that was." But I made it a point after that season to get myself away from him because he was the O-line coach.
Right.
And I went to Khalil Kaliko and I said, "Bro, teach me how to be on the linebacker." But he said, "Just watch that guy." And then speaking of that guy actually, B was asking me earlier, did you have somebody you look up to? And this guy, I'm gonna bring him up later on too. This guy by the name of Frank Molina was kicking everybody's butt out there. You know what I mean?
From early days. He was a legend already, brother.
Legend,
Frank
legend.
Molina.
Frank Molina.
Wow.
He was,
And this is all Pump Warner we're talking about.
Pop
yeah?
Warner,
So
pumpkin guy.
nobody
Yeah.
when turned into a monster yet. So
he was the monster. You know what I mean? He was ponying everybody. You know what I mean? And we had on plethora of running backs, bro. We had remember David Villanueva,
right.
David,
Robin Evan, Melvin
Rest in peace.
Matsushima,
Yes.
Wendell Aken, Eric Rosette. This is Pop Warner, bro. I mean,
And this is
the,
all your
the
first year, right?
Ganaban brothers.
That's your first year you're talking
Paulie,
about, right?
Phillip, Peter.
Because all the
Prescott.
guys
Yeah,
you're naming
it's
is 1 year older than
yeah, they
you at that
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Two older, 2 years.
2 years older than us. So
Okay.
these guys were still in the midgets and
Was Albert still playing that time? Albert
Albert was the bull. Albert was the bull.
You know what? Keep it at that right now.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. We're talking story with Peter Matautia. Welcome to the Searider Football Podcast, Episode 2, Peter Matautia. We're talking Pop Warner right now. We're going to hear more stories right here. I'm enjoying it right now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Part 2 coming up.
Mahalo. This episode of the Searider Football Podcast is proudly brought to you by DJ's Jerky, ANG Bar and Grill, Kalima's Auto Glass, Major League Clothing, Countertops, etc., Capone's Production, Mike and Bill's Fire Grills, TMD, Big Ben Productions, Atapai's Lau Laus, and Hammer Department.
All right, welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is your Searider podcast, episode 2. Our very special guest, Peter Matautia, is in the building. And when we took our very first break, we were talking about your first day at Papuana, or actually your first year playing. In fact, playing ever.
Ever.
So you was playing at Waianae Tigers Midget Division.
Yeah, right guard. I was playing right guard.
Along with Orkan Hammers, 2 years older than you.
Yeah.
So that would mean you were 7th grade and you was playing against high schoolers.
Yeah.
Your very first.
Actually, most of the guys was 9th grade. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So tell me about that season, man. You only played right guard, or?
I only played right guard, and we
you know, I laugh because sorry, Pete, I love you, but I know you my whole life and all that. I just can't picture you pulling guard. You know what I'm saying,
bro?
I can.
I can picture him, but
Actually, we was
was
on pretty slim line, but like beast. You know what I mean? Just a bunch of little tough. You know, Tilly was on, tough bugger too.
Talking Tilly, Ivi
Malo.
Tilly, Ivi Malo.
Oh, the whole Ivi Malo family.
Yeah, so I can see why they didn't put us there because of the talent, in the key positions. But wow, was pretty major. And actually, that year we lost to Manoa for the state championship.
Ooh,
and
they
Manoa
did
actually
win it. 7th grade, they did.
They actually went to the Super Bowl and
the one in
lost
Florida
in the finals.
Wow.
Hey, you remember when the year after that we didn't play them in the stadium.
Yeah.
And we won 6-0.
Yeah.
We won 6-0. The year after was major. That's when I first came. I played 8th grade. I didn't go play with you guys. 7th grade, I played for Pro City Papuana while living in Waianae.
You played Pro City 7th grade.
Yeah, I went, but when I moved to the kind Waianae Intermediate, so I couldn't play. These guys was stacked already.
Yeah, we started.
So I think they took Talks though for some odd reason. Because Talks ain't playing 7th grade. No, we never. We wouldn't watch you guys play our whole 7th grade year. We never played football. So that's some good memory. I never brought that up. Yeah, so we moved from Pro City to Waianae Intermediate. That's when I met all you guys, all you monsters out there to check the ID again.
So that was your 7th grade year, and then what happened your 8th grade year? You changed position?
Year came back after hanging out with Kaleo Kaliko that whole year. In fact, he made me go paddle canoe, and that took me to another level as far as physicality. I was like, whoa, I never knew I could have breaks. You know what I mean?
Not to mention lats.
And yeah, it was a good experience paddling canoe. And then when I came back, of course, boom, the coach was like, hey, you the same kid playing right guard last year? I was like, yeah, but I ain't playing right guard this year. He's like, oh. He's like, yeah, you go try round ball. I was like, yes, sir. What number? Number 30. Perfect.
Yes, I remember that.
And then, of course, I ran ball. And then they never liked the way I ran the ball because I never run away from nobody.
Yeah, you was always dipping your freaking
said,
face mask was close to the ground.
You go over there, go play defense. I went to play defense, and I think my coach was Alika Madaris. Yeah. So I ended up playing linebacker, inside linebacker, and then that's where I stuck. It was good.
That's what you didn't get for love defense.
Yeah,
and ladies and gentlemen, that's where it started. That's where the legendary Matautia rip
took
shot.
My whole life to a different level because on offense, we just kind of protecting somebody. But when I went to defense, I was like, no wonder Frank liked doing this. I get to smash guys and nobody can say nothing. You know what I mean? Like, whoa, bro, I shouldn't rip this kid's head right off. You know what I mean? And illegal. I know I can do that in school. I'm going to get suspended. You know what I mean? But right here, everybody cheering me on. You know what I mean? I'm like, what? My friend's parents calling my name, you know what I mean? Go, Peter boy, you know what I mean? Who's that? Anthony Denise. I was like, bro, people like me pound their kids, you know what I mean? So that just should trigger something inside me.
I gotta jump in on this is what you just said. He said, I can pound them without getting suspended.
Yeah. So a lot of you guys out there who know,
Pete.
a lot of you guys out there who know, Lucky had football. Really, during that time of the season, you realize you wasn't getting slapped upside down.
The reason why I'm buzzing right now because he goes here, but he gets Lucky at football. What about the guy at practice? Never do nothing.
Wasn't your fault, brothers. Wasn't your fault.
He's just eating right before practice. You guys heard Pito's gonna scrap to that school? What? I gotta go play against him today.
To be honest, this thing was resting on my heart. You know, the moment that I got the invite from you guys to come on the show, I honestly did real deep soul searching, and I told myself, I'm not even worthy. You know what I mean? Most of you guys, don't know that I only actually played 2 years of high school ball at Waianae Searider, but those were the two most detrimental years of my life because it made me want something and it got taken away. Then I got them back and then it got taken away again. But that's another story for another time.
No. This is the time.
In fact, right now, okay, 8th grade, found out,
grade,
okay, legendary,
boom.
smacking around everybody. Now it's 9th grade. What happened?
9th grade was major. I don't know how the hell I did that, but I went gain like I was telling B, my first game, I would weigh in, I would scale in the locker room. I jump on the scale and I was 214, 9th grade.
And that's in 1 year because if I remember correctly, the weight for midgets is 135.
Yeah.
So you put on one good 70 pounds.
Yeah, 70 pounds over the summer. So.
Fellas, that's 80 pounds.
80 pounds.
That's
84 pounds.
That's 80 clean. 80 clean pounds.
I actually, before that, guys like Kaleo Ciro, Frank Molina, and other guys, that were there before me, they never even noticed. But when I started coming to the high school, as 8th grade, transitioning into high school, they're like, hey, Peter. I was like, oh, you know my name. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, come work with us. So I think that time in that small little gym that we had at that time, when really helped me out, you know, helped me bulk up, and I just wanted to be there because that was a place, why not?
And then that would be my sophomore year. For instance, we go play. Oh yeah, okay. So that was a great season right there. I was playing QB.
Yeah.
B Chung was in the house over there. We
Yo.
played
That's when we all
Koku for the title.
finally was all together playing on one team, and that was an awesome year.
I remember, brother Kane, Collar Hill game. Remember when it was raining? Had all the mud.
Oh,
Peter had the,
no.
you said the big hit awards.
Yeah,
Remember when you used to have
yeah,
that?
yeah,
You had to put them up in the
yeah,
locker
yeah.
room and had Pete's number was on there.
We had to play in a storming rain.
Yeah, and it was
Remember that
6-0.
game?
No, you
Collar
remember?
Hill, we
That's
won
the year
6-0.
the coach got in trouble. Remember that coach from Collar Hill when disciplined his students,
On that.
his players in the locker room, and they removed him second half.
Oh,
you guys
yeah, I
remember?
don't know.
I remember that game too, because
Yeah, you had the biggest hit. To me, had the big hit awards.
yeah.
For those
big
of you
hit
who don't
awards.
know, why not?
The hatchet.
Yeah,
The hatchet.
And then they put your number up in the locker room
Yeah.
for the season. And
Right.
big hit. Number 43 at the time.
Number 43,
yeah.
baby.
Yeah, number 43. I remember
43.
always having to walk past him and go, "It's
Yeah.
unreal." What you for number 12? Me want number 10 up there. Big hit on.
That was kind of unfair because
Offense,
this
bro. Only get pancake, bro.
no more offensive.
Yeah.
We had the most
Only
highest
big hits,
grades,
bro.
you know what I mean? Up on the top of the locker room. For
Yeah,
the
but
week.
you guys get chance to make touchdown. That's on
That's
football.
right.
You know
right.
what I mean?
And you know what? Quarterbacks, they get they get all the perks. Perks.
Speaking of that, I should run away from this guy every single day at practice. Boy, you could catch me.
I think he's running more from his brother. I think he's running from his brother.
Hey, man, it's the only guy ready to practice barefoot. We'll get into that story about it. Okay, so now we're talking 9th grade JV.
Yeah, 9th
So
grade.
you brought up not playing 2 years, so I would assume you skipped the 10th grade. 'Cause I
So
played with
what
you
happened
varsity.
was I got into a lot of trouble after football season, 9th grade. Got expelled from YNI, so I ended up going to Campbell High School. I went to Campbell and then tried to go on that football team out there, and I met with the strength coach. This guy named I'm not going to even say his name. He was the strength coach back then, and man, Campbell actually had on a whole bunch of guys that had this 3+ club, and I wasn't a weightlifter.
Right.
Oh,
3+ meaning that's how much they bench
300
press.
pounds
Yeah,
plus.
yeah.
High school kids, bro. They had like 20.
And
And
that's only JV. Yeah.
yeah, and I was like, they for real or what?
Wait, it was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Wait,
Well, remember we challenged him JV. Mike Ulufale him.
was 0-0.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
You know, it was
Hey,
0-0.
hey, Mike, man, if you're out there, brother, you know, it took us about 3 times in one play for tackle. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's right, bro. 0-0 that
0-0,
game
yeah.
was, bro.
They came to Pro City to see if
Yeah,
We
and then
lose.
We won.
Yeah.
We beat them.
And we won, so
Yeah,
we went
won.
to the ship.
Yeah, we won the
Because
tiebreaker.
if we lost against Pro City,
They would have
Campbell
they
would-
would have
yeah,
went
yeah.
to
Yeah, exactly.
play against Lily for
The semis.
what was it called again? Leeward. What's called the Leeward Championship, right?
Right.
Remember I had that Westerns.
Western.
Western. Yeah, Western.
Oh, you guys old, eh?
Hey, I just gonna say, the youngest of this bunch.
And then I went to Campbell, and then I never make the 3+ gang in Watanuki. Oh, shoot. Anyway, this guy said, this guy, you really ways with that. So he kind of turned me off. So I said, I'm gonna go back Y9. And I didn't even think I had a shot because Y9 had this thing, once you off the team, you never have it. You no more second chances. But
Yeah.
thank God to a man named Mosley Abiai. He's on.
Oh,
Everybody
okay.
know
So I see
why.
what you're saying. So that whole so the whole 10th grade season you just chilled.
Yeah,
You
I was
there,
gone.
That whole one, and then, so you came back
Yeah.
junior year for play varsity.
Actually, I also got removed from Campbell. Got into trouble over there too, but and then I went. I got accepted to this school up in Whitewall called Storefront. It's like
Storefront in the
everybody
house?
knows Storefront. Colette,
Storefront.
Toma,
Yo.
the Dragon Lady, Tanaki, all them guys. They really helped me out as far as getting my credits that I needed to get back to reality and get back to Wina and try to see if I could get back, playing ball.
I
you know.
see. I
That's
see
what I
what
wanted
you
to
mean.
do.
So you went through that. You went through
I
that,
went through that
that
whole
phase
process,
right
yeah.
there, and then
Yeah.
that's how you
got all
got
my
to.
credits. Went back with, all my credits for my junior year, and then I was denied.
By who?
Coach Mitsui.
Okay.
Yeah, I was on trouble team. He didn't want that influence on his team. He didn't want to bring the Ratin guy into these,
So how did you get back on the team?
Wasley RBI. Came to my house with Peter Fano, Philly Ulufale, couple big brothers in the back of his little Nissan truck, remember?
2x4.
Get in our truck, you're going to play, don't be a loser. I was like,
Yeah.
I went down several times, Coach Mitsui never let me play. He's like, come. And they,
Wow, Pete, I never noticed.
yeah, he went all the way to scrimmage, the scrimmage, and Mitsui still never let me come play.
So scrimmage meaning the season never
The
really
season never
officially
really
started.
officially started, but you guys started scrimmage, and I remember you guys were going to Coke, and I heard Mitsui said no again, and then Wadsley took me in his personal truck to the game in Coco, and
So you never played in the scrimmage that we beat Koku?
I was okay.
You-
We're getting to that. So when I went, I was in t-shirt and surf shorts, slippers.
I think you can jump in, eh?
Wadsley is like the linebackers at that time was Talks,
right?
brother.
That's Randy Tinoga.
Randy Tinglonga and Howard Kili Holokai, Richard Lanford,
And Toby.
Toby
Those
Silva.
are outside backers.
Yeah, and then of course Brother Brands was with us too. You know, Brother Brands.
DB.
Yeah. Then converted him, but so. For the whole first half, one guy by the name of Makatoya was kind of getting nuts with our defense.
You went scamper.
He was
nice.
scamping. It was 21-0 at the half. So Wasley RBI was like, he was in between. Yeah, he's like,
Actually, we beat them,
the
though.
boy like
We'll
play.
tell you guys about that
the
after
boy
this.
like play. And then Mitsui's like, no. And then you guys went off to halftime break. And I was like, just going to go to the truck, coach. He's like, no, you're going to play. And finally Mitsui was like, wait. What, you like play? You like play? I said, yes, sir. I want to play. He's like,
Wait, what was that? Yes, coach? Like how we always had to answer?
I had to say yes, coach, And I ended up, RBI was like, go get the stuff. I get them in a truck. I was like, okay. Came back second half, and then they put me in front of Howard Kaliolakai, and it was like a light bulb went off again. I get to smash guys for the W, you know what I mean?
But this time around, the sense of urgency is way more. I
Yeah,
mean, you got to prove now. The last
Yeah.
time, you know what I mean? You get to blast guys out.
Well,
but
I
now,
gotta prove
but now,
something.
not
Well,
only to the community, not only
Yeah.
to Coach Oz, but Mitsui.
Yeah.
So you can go off of that. And again, he's stubborn.
I mean, I never, I didn't hold any ill will towards Mitsu. I knew why he was the way he was.
right?
I understand, and I know that it was like gonna take a miracle for me to get back on the team. But really, really deep down, why I really wanted to get back on was that coach at Campbell. When he said he made me feel like I wasn't good enough.
Right.
But his players from Campbell was like, this guy was the guy who was bossing us up when we were JV coach.
Right.
Well, let me go ahead at this point and thank that coach for doing that, because he brought our brother Peter back with us again. Hey, thank you, coach. Mahalo, coach.
Imagine you told P, man, you the
No,
man.
Yeah.
No. I like thank that coach because I'm playing quarterback. This guy'll be coming after me.
He made me feel like there's no place else I want to be than back where I was, where I came from. Home.
Yeah.
And then when I did come back, and Mitsui did give me that chance, and Wadley Abiyai did what he did for me. I just wanted to make sure that I just did whatever I could to prove to everybody that I deserve.
And
to
you
be there.
sure did,
You know what I
brother.
mean?
Yeah,
And
you
you sure
did.
did, man. Peter Matautia, our guest right here. We're going to take one more break real quick. We're going to shout out our sponsors for this week's show, episode number 2 with Peter Matautia. When we come back, we're going to wrap it up and also continue what we're talking about right here, because I never really – there's a couple other things I like to ask you before we get to the world-famous 2-minute drill. But ladies and
Right.
gentlemen, we're hanging out with Peter Matautia, the legend, right here on your Searider Football Podcast. All right.
All right.
This episode of the Searider Football Podcast is proudly brought to you by DJ's Jerky, ANG Bar and Grill, Kalima's Auto Glass, Major League Clothing, Countertops, etc., Capone's Production, Mike and Bill's Fire Grills, TMD, Big Ben Productions, Atapai's Lao Laos, and Hammer Department.
The Searider Football Podcast with Big T's and B Chung.
All right, welcome back to the show. Big T's in the house. That's B Chung right over there. And of
What's
course,
up?
our awesome guest this day, our second guest, Mr. Peter Matautia is in the building, ladies and
What's
gentlemen.
up, everybody? What's up?
All right, so we just got through talking about how you got back on the team. I actually got to play varsity football for YNI High School. Let's continue that.
Right. So, anyways, I got back on the team. Was an awesome team. That team that year,
Best of all time, I would say.
and we would argue that for real though. We had how was our season? We was undefeated.
Yes, sir. Until because you bringing up Koku. We beat Koku 28-14 that day.
Right.
But that was scrimmage where it don't count. I know. I bring
Yeah.
it up. Okay.
But we still claim them.
Yeah. So we're undefeated all the way till I think the last game we played was Koku.
Yeah.
And we lost down 44-14.
Yeah.
44-14.
That was a sound channeling right there.
Yeah, that was a hell of a season.
Yeah.
One thing I like bring up in that season though, just wondering, I gotta clear my memory right now. I don't know if you played tight end or.
I played
he was,
tight end,
he was
and I
wide
dropped
open,
the ball
just-
against Color Hill. Yeah, Color Hill.
So if you was I think he was wide
The
open.
waggle was the
You
waggle.
could have been like wide open.
I was wide open. The ball hit me in my face mask.
Yeah.
I dropped the ball, call. I
Okay.
dropped the ball.
Yeah, so that would be like so for those of you who don't know, there's a team called the solid team. There's solid and also a heavy team that goes in. When you get down to like the goal line area, inside the 20, then the offense changes into the big boys or the strong boys. And so I think it was called, I don't know, but maybe it was Solid Bone 37 Waggle. Could have been one of those.
It was. But to my in my defense, I gotta tell you guys.
Forget.
In my defense, I gotta tell you, we run that play every week in practice.
Mm-hmm.
What he talking about is the semifinals against Color Hill. That's the first time they actually even throw the ball to me. You know what I mean? They
The pressure was
ever
on.
threw the ball to me. You know what I mean?
And Peter, take
When
the
I turned around and I saw that ball coming at me, it was like this mic in my face. You know what I mean? I was like, brother, ball come on, whoa! You know.
Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so this play right here, Peter is wide open. Okay,
Nobody.
Kalou
Nobody
drops
is
the
next
ball
to me.
right here, boom, and bounce right off his face or something like that. We're gonna dig up the clip though, and you guys can go ahead
Oh
and check
my
it.
goodness! Oh my goodness!
No, but here's the funny thing, B.
Yeah.
After he dropped him, nobody said nothing on the sideline. It was all like, "Hey, good effort, good effort, good effort."
Good try, Pete.
Yeah,
Next
yeah,
time,
yeah.
next time.
Oh my goodness!
Oh
Yeah,
man.
hey, that's why I was on linebacker.
Yes, sir.
Stonebreakers, bro. Yeah. No, it wasn't made for catch balls.
All right, so being a Searider, you're back on the squad. I mean, the season's going. Of course, I played with you. I know the answers and all that, but for our listeners and viewers, they don't really know. But you ended up starting inside linebacker.
Yeah,
with-
starting inside linebacker with Randy Tinongo.
Yes, and so
He was the Mike and I was the Mac. And
so during the course of the season, how you felt knowing where you came from, where you had to? Did you feel as if now I'm realizing certain things that we grew up with? Days of you practicing barefooted. I mean, bleeding. No, I mean,
Right.
you know what I'm saying. Like so now I totally understand why you. A few times you was like severely hurt to the normal human being, but you would still stay in. So now I
Just
kind of
push through.
Nah, that's what. No, now I get it. After all these years, I really didn't know that this story. And
Yeah.
we're brothers, man. And
Yeah.
so now I understand. Now it all comes together to why you dominated in there, especially in the interior. I mean, side to side.
yeah.
I mean, the way you hit. I mean, it's no joke. The thing I like ask you is, during the course of this game and the pain you're feeling, right? All the pain and all this kind of
Right.
stuff. So besides that, what else kept you going on the field?
And just the camaraderie, being a part of the W, you know what I mean, was just awesome. You're a football player when they're back in the 80s and the 90s. You pretty much walk on clouds. When you walk around the town and everybody look at you, hey, you number that guy in there, 83, you're the linebacker. Yeah, that's right. Going to the old mom and pop stores, hey, boy, good game, See people out on the streets, everybody know you, Everybody look up to you, just like when I was a kid, growing up. I remember catching a bus to Aloha Stadium, watching Quinte Flores, Mike Beasley, Tucson Kikua,
not a beast. But like you said, catching the bus,
watching guys
it's that
catching a bus.
passion.
Yeah, I
that
was on
passion
kid.
that one day.
I'm not gonna lie, we used to go to Wine Mall with a little cardboard paper, sign, can catch right to the game. And bruh, I was like 8, 9 years old. Today that would be dangerous, but we was just waiting for one auntie or an uncle forgive us, right, or somebody forgive us quarter for catch the bus to the game, and we was out. You know what I mean? And we'd go and watch these animals, these titans of wine people that we look up to. Bang.
One guy that come to your mind right now. That's it. One guy, Peter Matautia, you think was the greatest YNI Searider football player that you looked up to. You looked up to now. So you're younger than him. I mean, you never played yet. Who would you say right now on the podcast?
Man, you're gonna be shocked, but I'm gonna tell you, the guy was from our time, and he's our good friend. And man, I used to be like, wow, how? You know what I mean? Kiko, Kaluyo Kalani. All the accolades.
Yeah.
This guy was basketball, the man.
Beautiful
Baseball,
answer.
the best. You know what I mean? Football, he was like offensive player of the year. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Like this guy
No,
was,
but
he was Kiko Kaleo Kalani. I mean, we grew up with him. He's our boy. And I never look up to him because he was on heavy hitter and this and that. For that, that would be Frank Molina, and Firmalo Penatani. But as far as like
The one.
the one that epitomized Waianae High School football, Kiko when represent the W.
That's awesome.
I mean, like,
Beautiful.
because of his intelligence, because of his accomplishments, and how far he went. Even when I went on to college and he went on to college, he went to what was that? Lewis and Clark.
Right,
I remember
baseball.
coming home and heard that Okoye was in town with Lewis and Clark to play UH, and UH was unbeatable at that time.
Mm-hmm.
He came in, and our friend
They're going to work.
went and smoked him.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I was like, that's my boy right
And
there.
the
you know
thing
what I mean?
is that I love that you say that right there because he's a big part of my life. I've always backed him up.
Mhm.
I always Kekor Kaloyo Kalani is back up. What a lot of people don't understand is Kekor was the starter.
Yeah, he's the mark.
yeah.
He's the mark.
And
You know what I
everybody
mean?
would think that I started
Yeah.
QB. I mean, we switched off a lot, back and forth. But that honor right there for me and him being, QBs together.
Yeah.
'Cause like this,
Yeah.
he taught me a lot. I'm with him 24/7 at practice. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, that's a damn good answer. Not even shocked.
And then also to mention that he played two ways. He played DB
Yeah,
and
he's
was
free
one
safety
and was one
and a
heavy
quarterback,
hitter.
yeah.
and another thing, he's going to be on the podcast, ladies and
Oh,
gentlemen.
right, Kwa. Yeah.
We already confirmed him for June.
Yeah.
June 20th, I
Yeah.
believe, because he's real busy over there. He's also the athletic director at Waianae High
Right,
School, so
right,
go check it out.
Amen to that, bro.
Oh, that's awesome, Pete.
Yeah. So yeah, he was the guy that, in the real world, that set the mark for a lot of us. I ain't gonna lie. He, growing up in Waianae, you have different hobbies,
Right.
and this guy was true to his.
Right.
True to his. He did all. He did it all. You know what I mean, bro?
Yeah.
Of course, I get
Right.
friends who was special in every way. Like you, my brother. You was always talented. I knew you was gonna do this. You know what I mean? B, diamond in the rough. You know what I mean? Doing the things he did, and then
Right.
I get all my friends.
Mahalo, Pete.
In my era, to me was the best in what they did in any time to me. You know what I mean? Surfing, whatever. I know who was better than I know who was bad. We know who was bad. You entertainment. All of us
Yes,
was
sir.
the best at what
Yes,
we
sir.
did. You know what I mean?
Still the best.
Yeah,
Still
we
the
was
best.
good.
Hey, mahalo, Pete. Mahalo.
That's a podcast.
But hey, but I'm gonna take this time to shout out to my old lady, Samantha Makanani. I'm sorry, babe, I love you. I know you're gonna cut my legs off, but we gotta do this.
Oh, yes. And sorry, if there's anything, it was Camera 2's fault.
No. It was that guy's fault right
No,
there.
we needed this right now.
I
For those of
am
you who don't
gonna
know,
be dead today.
Wifey is waiting for this
Yeah, I
brother for a while.
left it. I don't wanna
We
be
sorry.
my
So,
baby.
with
But-
that said, we got to speed this up right there. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, Peter Matautia, he will be back. And also, what I want to let our fans know right now and our viewers.
Oh,
and
before
listeners.
before you jump to that, I was just gonna say, when I got invited to this show, I realized I'm not coming here to share with you guys because I thought it was about football.
Yeah.
I'm not here to share about football or to share what I did for Waianae football, but for what Waianae football did for me.
Oh, yeah. Tell us,
You know,
brother.
Waianae
That's what we need
football
to hear.
did for me was introduce me to brothers, to the brotherhood that we have, to discipline, to humility, to pride and honor. Shoot. When I think of Waianae, I like cry. You know what I mean? Like we love where we're from.
Yes,
you know?
sir.
We belong. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? So I just wanted to say that my reason here for being here today, I really didn't, like I said earlier, feel like I was worthy of being on this show. But I'm telling you right now, and all you kids, that we don't have time to get to that. But I ended up not playing my senior year. But guess what? I ended up going to college on a full scholarship because somebody put the word in for me. So,
Hold on. Hold on. I mean, I know we're kind of rushing on this right there. Hold on. That's
But
right.
we got to talk
Wait,
about
that's
this.
right, real quick. So, okay.
yeah, I did already. So let's do this.
So, so your senior year, you didn't play.
Yeah, so my senior year, I got into trouble again, and I was removed from the football team. So I never ended up playing. I ended up doing something that I never thought I would do, and I ended up wrestling because I wanted my letter.
That's
So I
right.
ended up wrestling for Waianae, and I did pretty good. Those of you who know, I did real good. only three guys in the state would beat me, and that's Nathan Sullivan, Steven Vieira, and Simeon Vieira from Kahuku. Nathan Sullivan from Radford Animal Brothers. But you know what? They had years to wrestle. I wrestled only once.
How's my man? He had
Yeah,
to say
yeah.
animal brothers. Like I said,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
But
So-
yeah, you guys remember me.
So what was your record that year in
My
wrestling?
record was whatever and 3. That's the only 3 guys I lost to.
Oh, right,
so
right.
So probably get about what 10 tournaments
So
in
it's
1
what,
year.
1
Yeah.
and 3?
No. I beat every high school that you can think of, except for Kahuku and Radford.
Roger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, so
yeah.
no, but going back to so you didn't play. Okay, now I understand. You got how'd you get a scholarship to play college football?
Well, I graduated
I
from
think
high
that's the
school.
first I heard that.
You know, I somehow I graduated from high school, and I ended up going to work with good brothers Jimbo Gangari and Wendell King got me a job, pouring concrete. $25 an hour back in 1991 was major. You know what I mean? So I was on top of the world.
That's major now.
But summertime, the brothers that were off college came home, and my cousin David Tafiti came home and he said, "Hey, my coach wanted to know if you wanted to play ball." I was like, "Get out of here! I didn't even play." You know what I mean? He's
Right.
like, "No, they seen the video of you during the Kahuku game, and they was like, where is this guy?" And we said, "Oh, he said I don't work in construction." So I was like, I still never believed David. He said, "You know, go home, wait for the phone call. A guy named Bob Mitchell gonna call you up. It's my coach." He ended up calling me, and I was stoked. You know, I went to my job, and I asked my boss, "Hey, if I leave, you think I can come back?" And the guy was like, my boss was like, "For what? Where you going?" I said, I'm going to college. He started laughing. He said, "No, I'm going full ride scholarship to play at Mount
Oh.
San Antonio Junior College with my
Mosack.
cousin name. Yeah, Mount Sac." So he's like, "What? Get the hell out of here." For real, boss. I'll get one job when I come back.
You better go do your thing.
Yeah, he said, "Go do your thing." You know
No,
what I
so
mean?
the boss said, "Go ahead."
Yeah, so the
Do
boss
your
was
thing.
good. You know, Thurston Warner was his name from Nanakuli. So I ended up leaving, and I went, and I was out and represent Y&I.
Yes,
up there,
sir.
you know what I mean? And college, that's another story. But I did 1 year.
What position did you play?
I
up there?
played nose guard. I played nose guard. But they ended up converting it to something called a stud linebacker, which is somewhere in between linebacker and D line. So
So they create one position for
They
you.
created one
Just,
for me.
so just happened to have the word stud in
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Stud linebacker.
Hey, D, so they created this thing called Incredible D, yeah?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So I had a blast. I loved it. My experience there was awesome, and I learned a lot. But at the same time, I wasn't ready for college academically. So I came home, rested for a little while, and then I ended up joining the United States Navy. You know, I got bored. I had that taste of being out in the States, in the mainland, abroad, and I wanted to be there again.
Ooh, brother,
So-
when you came back,
Yeah.
ooh, these mother
So
look like Mr.
I went in-
Olympia.
I went and served my country, and I was honored to do that too. And I got discharged after one term, honorably discharged from the United States Navy, and then came home and started my family. And then here we are today.
Let's talk about that family, man. So,
Ooh, the
what you
family
got? What you
big,
got?
the
What you
family
got?
big. Well, you guys know I was married. Once upon a time, I had 6 children from my kid's mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had 5 girls, 5 beautiful daughters,
Right?
and my son, and my oldest son from her. Then I met a new girl.
Cat?
You know, after things didn't work out, I met a new girl named Samantha Makanani, and then I had another son from her, and that's my newest baby. So that makes 7 kids altogether. So I got 2
Right.
boys. And 5
Congratulations,
girls,
man.
And then
Oh,
I got 4
awesome.
grandkids. Yeah.
Hey,
so-
Pete, before we get out of this, I'd
Yeah.
like to tell you, man, hey, you are the epitome of perseverance, strength. I mean, we can go on and on with
Humility.
this podcast. I mean, on and on. And we do have actually avenues for that right there. B Chung has a show called The Journey, which, of course, you'll be guest number 1. There's so many things that you've been through and all kinds of stuff. But, you know, the point here is Searider football. Incredible story, bro. Incredible story, and it doesn't end. And we also want to advise everybody that yes, we're happy to announce that Peter will be a part of the cast here
Oh.
as far as hosting for the show. So I mean, your insights on Searider football, your love for it. I mean, there's no room for one episode when it
Yeah,
comes to
yeah,
Peter
exactly.
Matautia. Ladies and
Exactly.
gentlemen, you just got one episode right here. So we'll just say this is a taste of Peter Matautia. We thank you for being here, my bro.
Love you guys, brother. Love you guys.
And before we fly out of here, when we come back, we'll do the 2-minute drill. You might.
Oh, here comes the mob job.
It's the Searider Football Podcast, Episode 2, Peter Matautia. All right.
Peace.
This episode of the Searider Football Podcast is proudly brought to you by DJ's Jerky, ANG Bar and Grill, Kalima's Auto Glass, Major League Clothing, Countertops, etc., Capone's Production, Mike and Bill's Fire Grills, TMD, Big Ben Productions, Atapai's Lau Laos, and Hammer Department.
The Searider Football Podcast with Big T's and B Chung.
All right, welcome back to the show. My name is Big T's. That's B Chung. We're wrapping it up right now with a fella by the name of Peter Matautia. And we have a little thing we call the world famous. The world famous.
Hey, we still on the internet. We still on the internet.
You're on the World Wide Web.
All right, listen right there. We call it the 2-minute drill. All right, Pete, you ready for that?
All right, man.
This is where me and Big T's, we get to mob our guests. And believe me, we'll take 2 of us for him.
Oh, yeah. 5 of us. All right, so B-Chug, you're going to start them right now. And here we go, right on the timer right here. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the 2-minute drill with our guest, Peter Matautia.
Books and stuff or low tang?
Books and stuff.
Horse collar, no horse collar.
No horse collar.
Favorite boxer all time?
Mike Tyson.
Oh, Vienna sausage or Portuguese sausage?
Portuguese sausage.
Lau Lau or Palusami?
Palusami.
Chess or tries?
Try.
Pickle or shoyu mango?
Show you mango.
Did you ever sneak on the bus and not pay?
Yes.
Favorite pro football team?
Buffalo Bills.
Favorite Disney movie of all time?
Maui or Moana. The newest one.
Yeah.
Sashimi or poke?
Poke.
DBs or linemen?
Linemen.
Linebackers or defense line?
Linebackers.
You ever had free cable?
Yeah.
During our years, who was the king of the pier at Pokai Bay?
King of the Pier Pokai Bay. Makawai.
Yeah, in your Searider football playing days, who would blast you the hardest?
On or off the field?
On the field.
Okay, that would be David Tafiti, of course.
David DeVito, tell me when.
Coming up the middle of practice when coach wanted to do this dumb thing where first team O against first team D. Like, what the hell are you trying to do here? You know what I mean? Trying to make it to the game, man.
And what was the play?
David up the middle. I told you guys, I never know nothing about football until I was in college.
One more, Pete. Give me one more. Got 8 seconds.
Favorite football player of all time?
Nobody.
All right, let's give it up for my man, Peter
Matautia.
Oh, you know what? I got that. My son,
Oh, okay, there we go.
Hey, what's his name?
Ronald Matautia.
All right, hey, way to come back with that, brother. You know what? Because you couldn't take nobody in the pros.
I was thinking pro.
That's my sons, dog. Well, thank you so much, my brother, for being here.
Aloha.
And,
Thank you very much, brothers.
All right, that's your 2-minute drill. That's our guest right there, my brother, everybody's friend, Westside dominant brother right here doing big things. And yes, stay tuned because he's going to be joining us for many more podcasts. And we thank you guys for tuning in. Much mahalos to all our sponsors. Love you guys. Hammer Department for life.
Hammer Department for life.
Seariders for life.
Seariders for life,
And
baby.
before we leave, can we get one more? You guys ready?
Ready.
More Team Why Not? Get ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Team
Why not?
There to the old I say